up and sit down.
Hello, folks. It's us two idiots. It's us two. That went well, Dave, didn't it?
It did.
Hello, it's us two idiots again. Me, Seven's Workshop, because I might have misjudged the size of my canister on my name badge there. But yeah, Colin here, Festa 67's Workshop, and next to me is my sparring partner.
Hello, it's me, Dave, at Dave's Model Maker Dave's Workshop, or for this time, it is Grunt Dave and Rambo Festa.
Yeah, I might have stolen a couple of images from a couple of movies, but yeah, we'll be doing a little bit of bench cam in a moment on our rather fetching Hueys, because it's been a while since we had our ladies on the screen, so we'll be doing that. But I'll just say hello to folks in the chat. We've got Mama Smurf in saying good afternoon. That's me saying hello to Mama Smurf. She's asking how am I? I'm fine and dandy. I had a bit of a joke with the old razor blades overnight. I thought, well, taking my girlfriend out today, so yeah. Dave saying hello to Mama Smurf. Mama Smurf saying hello to Dave. Papa Smurf. Oi, oi, people. Dave saying hello to Papa Smurf. Saying hi back. He's also saying hi. Hope you're all keeping fit and healthy with an H. Absolutely, mate. Healthy. Capital L. Healthy.
Elf.
Elf. Isn't it? Elf. Yeah. Mama Smurf says all eagerly waiting. Paul's in at Plastic Monkey. Hello, Paul. Hope you're all right, mate. Hope Sue's doing Paul. Okay. Papa Smurf's going, hiya, Plastic. It's me saying hello, Plastic Monkey. Graham's in. Graham McRobert. Hi, Model Maker Dave's. Can hear a Nam movie tune playing soon. I was going to play a particular well-known bit of music, but I knew the minute I did, I would be hit with every copyright strike imaginable. And it can be really frustrating, Dave, can't it, as YouTubers, where you just want to inject a little bit of recognizable movie stroke TV show theme music to go with the theme, and you know that you're going to get hit for 6 if you do. So I couldn't, unfortunately. Graham's saying one with Martin Sheen, the father in it. Yeah, I know the movie you're on about, mate. Apocalypse Now. Sorry, just clearing my throat. Jacqueline's in. Hello, Jacqueline. How are you doing, my darling? And Roger is saying, hello, Mum. You all right? Oh, he's not quite on shot there. Let's change that.
Look, bang, almost, well, not quite.
There you go.
Jasper's there.
Yeah. Joseph Kelly is in saying hi to everyone. Hello, Joseph. Hope you're doing all right, mate. And Plastic Monkey saying, Sue says hi to both of you. Hi, Sue. Hope you're keeping well, darling. And the pair of you have a looky loo on the Patreon channel. There's a linky pop's gone up ready for the 5th of September. There's a little thank you to all my patrons. It's a monthly thing we're going to be doing where we're doing an off-air hangout, and we can all get to know each other and have a laugh and a joke and mess around. What have you been up to this week, Dave, before we make our inevitable start? Have you been up to anything else that you want to enlighten the viewers at, or do you want to save that till Sunday?
I'll save that until Sunday, I think.
You're going to save it till Sunday, mate, because you've got a couple of little tasty treats, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah, good man, mate. Right, I suppose then really we should pull our finger out, and I need to get the camera off of my rather shiny canister and switch over to my other cameras then. We'll try and keep an eye on the chat as best we can. I will endeavour to be a bit more active than I was when I was doing the Thunderbird 2, but I was painting it, and once you're waiting for paint to dry, it's a bit of a bind, isn't it, Dave? But case you're wondering, folks, she came up, I think, quite nicely. I'm quite pleased with that. So you'll get to see that this coming Wednesday in the next instalment.
So I'm a little bit behind you because I'm still on the construction.
Yeah, but you know what I'm like, mate. I go about 211 to 12 mile an hour when I'm building, don't I? It's just how I am. Let's have a looky-loo. But yeah, catch up with the Hueys. I've just moved my ball tank out of the way because I don't want to damage that. In case you haven't seen it, it's a ball tank. It's a ball tank. It's a ball tank.
So is that finished now, the ball tank, or is you still got a little bit to do on it?
That is as far as it's going to go at the moment till the diorama's built, and then I'm going to weather the two of them together.
Ooh.
So I've got all the weathering to do on that. Yeah, I've done the chipping or the initial chipping and the putting the grass decals on, and it's a bit shiny at the moment because I've gloss coated the sides, ready for rust, filters, dirt, detritus, and all of that. But I'm going to be building the diorama in the next episode and getting that constructed, and then when it's put on its new home, I can then weather the two together so that you get that blending that you want. Sounded rather technical, and I knew what I was on about then, but I can assure you all I don't.
You just make it up as you go along, aren't you? Like everybody.
Yeah, I've got resin dudes that I printed to go on there as well. See, so I've done all the dudes. So where did we get to on the Huey? Well, it's painted. As you can see, it had a pre-shade. Decals are all on, and I'm going to be battering the rest of her nose because, as you can know, let's move Glottis out of the way because this is a big old girl, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's not a small kit by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. See, so I'm battering her nose at the moment and scratching the decal. So that's what I'm doing on there. Let's bring my mouse over. Pup the Smurf is going ready and waiting for that. Looking forward to it. Absolutely, mate. Jacqueline Stevens, Kevin, myself are both fine. Colin and Dave, good. Good for you.
Good.
Model making mayhem's going bork.
Okay.
I'll just zoom out on my camera actually a little bit because where the Huey's so big, you're not getting everything in shot, are you, folks? So let's see whether I can rectify that a little bit. We'll see. That worked, didn't it?
Oh, it's looking all right.
Let's do it through. How's that? That's a bit better, isn't it? All right. What else is there to do? Oh yeah, I've got to reattach a gun because I may have inadvertently gripped her a bit too tightly round the gills, and she threw her gun off in distress. So I need to rectify that. But yeah, considering these are a pair of old Revell 124 Hueys, Dave, we haven't done too bad with them, have we, mate?
I think we've done rather well. Bearing in mind that they're not quite as they should be from the box.
No.
They have been heavily modified.
And I'm kind of glad about that in a way because it's one of those kits in it where everyone loves to hate on it.
And I can kind of see why they hate on it, but I think it's kind of misdirected.
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as as people thought out.
You know, people, oh, you know, it doesn't fit together when you put it together.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I've not had a fit issue all the way through this. I kind of get where they're coming from because they're, you know, some of the detail is a little bit, yeah, it's a bit slack. It's not quite up to modern day standards.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are forgetting that this was, what, 68, 69 when this thing came out?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was kind of most, I think, when they put the molds together, it was something that they thought Dad was going to build, and Sonny Jim was going to go and do his war games of Vietnam in the garden.
That's right.
So it has been made a bit chunky.
That's a bit better. Swig of tea first. Mark Scale Models is in, saying good afternoon. Hiya, Mark. How you doing, mate? Nat's in. Dexterous Crafter. How you doing, Nat? Hello, Nat. Hello. Hello. Jacqueline saying hello to Nat, who's saying hi back. How was work? Oh, Sergeant Bones is in. How do, Sarge? Hope you're doing all right, mate.
Come up and no one can see it. And really?
Nat saying hello to Sarge, who's saying hello back to Nat. So, chat seems to be happy. Everyone seems to be chatting to each other.
Yeah.
I suppose the clue's in the words chat.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Everybody seems to be happy.
Yeah. So we are going to be wrecking a little bit of the nose art. And I know, I'm sorry for what I'm about to do.
Yeah, but it's shark's mouth and all.
I know. But it's... Oh, it needs doing. It's just a bit too clean for my liking, Dave. I might have to move my friend Manny Calavera over a tad, because the tail of the Huey wants to be over there. Let's move Thunderbird 2 there. My bench is getting full, Dave. All these different kits I've got on the go. How's that?
My little bit down on the left-hand side, he's getting a bit chocker. I'm going to have to start finishing some kits here. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I found a bit on the fuselage that I didn't stick the last time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What you like?
I know. Can't get the stuff.
Let's put my magnifiers on, being that I am a man of a certain age. Is as blind as a proverbial bat. Try not to smack my head on the microphone again, Dave.
You like doing that, don't you?
Yeah, there's a microphone there. You'd never have guessed, would you?
Well, no.
In case people are wondering what I'm using, it's a little mechanical pencil that I took the lead out of, and I put a sewing needle in it, and I use it as a scribe and also for scratching decals. And I just wet the tip of it in with my tongue. And yes, many a time I have stabbed myself in the tongue with this.
Oh, Osric's in. Hello, Osric.
Hello, Osric. How you doing, my old mate?
I'm not here currently working. I'll be it later. Okay.
Not a problem, mate. We're on until 6, half 6, something like that. we'll do a couple of hours tonight because there are other shows on. And apologies to Mr. Fox as well. I kind of didn't realise you was doing one of your Fallout shows, so apologies, mate. I've clashed with you a little bit, but hopefully you don't mind because we're not doing 2 model making shows, are we? You're doing a computer game at the moment, so apologies. It's always a bit of a faux pas, isn't it? And we endeavour not to clash with each other.
Well, we try not to.
But I think there's a few shows today, isn't there? It is Friday, isn't it? Of course
it's Friday because you got the ISM on later, haven't you?
That's right. And I think Nat's doing a Friday gem as well.
Can't forget Nat and her gem.
So, I've got my diamond art just to my left, sat there by the 3D printer, and I'm sitting there most nights going, what have I let myself in for?
Oh, no. Mind you, I am thinking of getting another one because I have seen a very nice one of a certain Lancaster flying over a certain dam after releasing a certain bouncing bomb.
Yeah. Nat saying, hi, Colin Dave. Now I know you've watched my videos. Absolutely.
Yep.
Bless her. Nat's going, yeah, no disrespect to Fox, but I'm happier watching a model building show than watching gaming. It's each to their own. It's just a thing where, again, I mean, Nat will know this because I've messaged Nat before when we've all been thinking of different time slots on shows, and I'll always message people if I find out that they're doing a live and go, look, are our times going to clash with yours? Only I don't want to clash with you because it's just polite, isn't it? And for the first time I've clashed with someone and I felt a little bit awkward, and I did offer to actually cancel this show today because I didn't want to clash with a guy, so we do care, Dave, don't we? We're nice people at the end of the day.
We try to be nice.
Yeah, don't tell everyone though, because they'll all talk about us and think that we're losing our psychotic ways.
Exactly. It will stick.
You're having sticky moments. That sounded wrong. Yeah, don't be like Fester. But yeah, little tiny scratches all the way around. Just some edges is what I'm up to on this. And dare I say it, I might end up doing a bit of a panel wash on it at some point today. We'll see.
I haven't even thought about that. What I'm going to do weathering wise. I don't think I'm going to overly weather. No,
I want to do a little bit of blah, 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 I would say Starship filth, but just something just to get in the recesses a little bit.
Yeah, I want it to be dusty.
Yeah, I've got some streaking stuff and dust and detritus, and it's knowing what to do on her at the end of the day. And this is where, no doubt, I mean, Sarge is in chat. He's more of an expert than I'll ever be at this because he's been in these things, so it's one of them. It's knowing how far to go with it.
Model making trucker, aka Lewis, easy.
Yeah. Hello, Lewis. All right, mate.
I think that's it at the moment.
Hope you're doing all right, mate.
He's asking, is Dave Corporal Jones in the pic? Don't panic.
Yeah, it was one of those. I had great fun sitting there.
I can imagine.
Sitting there doing that.
Mama Smurf is saying you need a bigger desk, mate.
Well, I've got 2 A2 cutting mats side by side here. You'll see the join down the middle, but I've got a lot of kits on the go. I've got the Mustang. I've 3D printed resin figures that keep me company at the bench. I've got Thunderbirds, I've got Glottis, Harley Quinn on the bench, I've got me bubble car on the bench. But Dave knows I bought some more units last week. So I'm having a bit of a move round on the bench, and there's going to be an area now just off to me left that all these kits that are works in progress are going to sit on. So everything you see on this bench is going to disappear.
I was going to say, have you filled them cabinets up yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think you would take very long.
Yeah, it didn't take me very long, Dave, did it? So, yeah, I've got, obviously, my speakers are on the bench in the corner there, and yeah, my little skull decanter from my days when I used to drink a JD is there as my little companion. I keep meaning to fill it up with a resin. I was going to put a bulb in it and have it just light up in the corner there, you know, just, yeah. It's like anything. You think these things and then you never get around to doing it.
Mm.
But no, my bench isn't that bad a size, really. It does the job, doesn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
But, yeah. Let's just bring that into shot like that. There you go. Manny can stare at you lot and keep you company. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Looking rather dapper there in his tuxedo. Let's have a swig of that.
I think I can let that go.
What's he saying there? He's having a bit of a revamp as well, by the look of it. Who's revamping the workshop? Papa Smurf. There you go. Papa Smurf's revamping his workshop.
Oh, good, man. Have fun.
Model making truckers dropping the subtlest of unsubtle hints there to his lovely wife, saying, "I want a 3D printer and a resin one." Is this where I go? My filament printer's just there, the other side of the Mustang, and my resin printer's in the corner.
My resin, not resin, my filament printer's upstairs.
Yeah, they are one of them things, Lewis, that you get one and you suddenly realise that you've got the ability, like I did when I was doing the E-models build. You know, I wanted some specific dudes and I just designed them up and resin printed them, and there they are. So something like that, or again, something like Manny that you can print, you know, they're all resin. And, you know, the quality and that is smooth as silk, mate.
Well, the two that you've done for me are brilliant.
Of course, yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, I've done you Plague Doctor, wasn't it? And the Assassin's Creed gear,
Altair from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, so
I must admit, I am tempted for a resin printer myself. It's just, where am I going to put it? That's the thing.
Model making truckers going. I can see Dave's rabbit. Where's yours? Mine's hanging up next to me. But if it makes you feel better, I can put Roger just there. There you go.
The rabbits are on display.
Absolutely. It's just if I was painting, I wouldn't want to get paint on him.
Oh, right. Okay. So,
oh, you mumbling to yourself there, mate?
I am. I am cogitating the destructions.
Eh?
Yeah.
You go careful now.
I know. He's a bit much on a Friday. But I am quite happily sticking bits on bits. That didn't sound right, did it?
It didn't. All right. That's that. Let's. Oh, try not to smack that on there, Carl, wouldn't you, mate? Yeah, I know. You didn't hurt. You did it, love. Good girl. Yeah, but there's a load of fellas in that'll probably go, God, I'm so glad he's just done that. I'm not the only one who talks to my models. I do it all the time.
I just sit here and talk to myself.
Oh, yeah. Ah, Mama Smurf. Mama Smurf likes him at Fester's workshop. Yeah, I think he is absolutely brilliant. Jacqueline kindly done these, and look at that. He's got pork pie out on. Look, I'll have you a bit of that. Yeah, but he keeps me company every day in my man cave. He's normally just to me left there on me door. I had him on the microphone at one point, but when I'm reading chat, he was just in my line of sight on the microphone clamp, so I had to drop him down to somewhere a bit safer. And also, my microphone does end up near the spray booth if I'm commentating when I'm spraying, and yeah, we don't want that. Okay, a little bit more just under there, and I think we can safely say that that'll be enough now.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you really sure?
As sure as I can surely be.
Oh, well, that's right then.
And stop calling me Shirley. Oh, what was that? That was
it. Shirley at the weekends, is it then?
Yeah. Damn, I thought that was my special secret. Damn. I have to do a bit of reinforcement on that gun. I just knocked Roger over. I did, didn't I? Let's put Roger there. There you go.
Well, you're knocking your model about. Now you're knocking your rabbit about.
I know.
I'll tell you what.
I know. I do need that.
And Jacqueline will come down and smack you on the nose.
Yeah, I do need a bigger bench. Trouble is, I know what would happen. It's funny. I was saying to you the other day, wasn't it? I got my eye on the spare bedroom upstairs, and I just know if I was to move in there, I'd end up with a stash twice as big. Yeah. Because it's like anything, isn't it? It's waste paper bin or waste bin syndrome. You put a big bin in the kitchen, it fills up. Mm-hmm. So you think, I'll just put that bag next to the bin because I'm going to empty it in a minute. And then the following day, there's another bag there. And it's like, yeah, we'll empty the bin today. Pardon me, bit of spider pig. I don't need that for the moment. I don't need that. Let's have a think on where we're going to go. Sorry?
You go careful thinking.
I know. It's one of those with the Hueys, isn't it? Neither of us want to overcook them, but it's
I don't want to underdo, but I don't want to.
You don't want to overdo it either. It does need something for the panel lines, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Yeah, it does. It does need it.
Oh, Totally Scale Models, is it?
Hello, Steve. All right, mate. Yeah, Steve's saying, yeah. Oh, poor old Manny there, got a clattering. Do love a sharp mouth. Absolutely, mate. Poor old Manny's getting clattered there, so let's move Manny as well. I'm going to have a bit of a move around, didn't I? Because the Huey is big. So let's utilise the build plate of my 3D printer.
Oh dear.
And put the ball tank over there. Manny can go over there because I don't want to break Manny. And I think I'll move Thunderbird 2 as well to be on the safe side. Roger can stay. Just to be on the safe side and give myself a tad more room. There you go. What to do with the Huey? Papa Smurf said, talking about Manny, laugh out loud, but she likes the rabbit too. Oh, right. Sorry, mate. Yeah, Manny, I don't know whether you played the game, but I've got Manny Calavera, a Grim Fandango. I'm going to be doing a late night stream where I'm sitting playing the game on that because it's been a while since I've played it. So look out for that, folks. Something a bit different on my channel there. And I've also got a rather big Glottis that I'm printed as well, and he's in that sanding stage at the moment. So, yeah. And there are a couple of characters from the game, so they stand in the corner of the bench there and keep me company. I know, Roger, you're still Daddy's favourite. I said that out loud, didn't I?
You did.
Excuse me. Now, would Starship Filth be too dark for a Huey for panel lines, or would I be better off using something like a burnt umber because it's got mud and shizzle?
Could you not use a little bit of Starship Filth mixed with a bit of Payne's Grey or Ghost Grey or something like that?
Yeah, I've got Payne's Grey here.
Just to give it a little bit of a lift.
Yeah, it just needs something, doesn't it? What filters have I got? I've got Streaking Grime. That might work. It's only just to go in the panel lines, but I don't want anything too dark. It's no, that's Winter Streaking Grime. That's no good. Engine Grime. What was that one? Oh, it's practically empty now. That was for green vehicles. Dark wash for green vehicles. Ooh. Yeah, let's have a bit of a mixy pot, I think. A bit of filth. And a bit of Payne's Grey then. Bit of that. And put a bit of that in there. So, and I think we can safely say then we can have a bit of a mix around, can't we? I had a bottle. Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. Happy days. I think we can make a pot of that. See how that looks when that's done its thing. If in doubt, make up some enamel wash. Not as good as the real thing, but Papa Smurf's going back to the workshop revamp. Hopefully back before you finish. Oh, mate, take some photographs and add them to the man cave gallery, mate.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be intrigued as to what you're up to there, mate, and probably will steal every single one of your ideas. Yeah, that's come up all right, Dave. I'm pleased with that.
Yeah?
Yeah. 50-50 Starship Filth and Payne's Grey. A bit of artists.
Finners.
Yeah. That's why I always keep these bottles as they wear down, because any of the stuff and detritus that sticks to the edges mixes in with what you've done, and it just keeps it. Yeah. Steve's going, chat's a bit quiet, but 19 people watching. Happy day, Steve. Cheers for that, mate. That's all right, mate. Don't forget, though, Fox is on as well, see? So we've kind of clashed. Some people might be watching Foxy Pops. So. But for us, it's just keeping us company at the bench whilst we're doing this, Dave, isn't it, mate?
Oh, yeah.
That's what today's about. Because we would have been doing this anyways. And, yeah, it just gives us a chance to sit and chat with you guys and keep you company. So that's what we decided to do.
Yeah.
Because we can.
Because that's the sort of people we is.
I know. It's quite scary, Dave, isn't it?
It is. Very
Right,
scary.
let's try and find an area that isn't as apparent. I can just give that a bit of a testage.
Testage is good.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, I confused the pizza shop last night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I ordered a pizza on a Thursday night rather than a Friday night.
Just ask them for a pizza without cheese. That normally does it.
Well, yeah. You want what?
Sorry?
I was going to say the reply would be, you want a pizza without cheese?
Yeah. That's a bit like McDonald's asking them how they get the cow in the milkshake machine.
Oh, see how Model Muse is in? Hello, Muse.
Hello, Muse. All right, darling. Hope you're all right. Keeping well. Feeling good.
If you can't be good, be careful.
Absolutely.
What's the button? I'll get this on the wrong way round. Any?
Yeah, just subtle enough. I'm pleased with that. Yeah. Happy days. Music is saying she slept like the dead last night because there was a storm. Good girl. Storm Laura, wasn't it, in America? And from what I hear, it was a bit of a beastie.
It was a bit nasty from what I've heard on the news. Well, mind you, I had thunder and lightning and power cuts last night.
Yeah, it was a bit strange here, to be honest. Model maker truck is going, well, it's been 20 minutes since I said I wanted the 2 printer, and that's not said no. So I think I will take it as I'm allowed to get them. If not, I'll blame Colin. Absolutely, mate. I accept the blame fully, unequivocally, and yeah, because I don't mind being blamed. You'll get addicted, mate. Thingiverse is the place to go. Sarge will tell you that. I just want to put something a bit more oomphy on there. I'm just going to try.
Yeah, cause I think Sarge is now quite keen to get rid of the newbie status on him.
Yeah.
He wants to pass the baton over to someone else. I don't blame him, actually.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with being a noob, mate. Thingiverse is one of them things. It's highly addictive, Dave, isn't it?
Yeah. You
I know. I was addicted to it when I first got into the whole 3D printing thing.
You lose days to Thingiverse, especially when you're just starting out on your 3D print journey.
Well, Sarge will contest to that.
And it was all the little girly noises he was making. Especially when he found his, what is it, mechs and that he liked.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that done it for him.
That was hook, line and sinker, I think.
Let's see what I think of that. Well, that's not too dark. Yeah, I can live with that.
It might lighten up a little bit as it dries as well.
Yeah, that tail fin there's just had a bit of pure Starship filth put on it, and yes. Well, this end, it doesn't look too dark anyway, so... Mind you saying that, I mean, what were they? Olive drab, weren't they? Or around that colour, something like that. So they weren't light, were they? Yeah, I can tolerate that. Yeah, so we can Starship filth the Jesus out of that now. Yeah, Muse is saying, yeah, it was because of the hurricane. Apparently it was very bad down south. Yeah, we've had some reports on our news over it. It was a bit ropey, Muse. I hope you're safe, love. Mama Spurf's going, we had a storm today with hailstones. Muse has got the lots of water part of the storm. Muse is going, she's not got a printer yet, but she certainly has tons saved from the site, laugh out loud. Yeah, Vampy's gone into the world of 3D printing as well, hasn't he? So I can imagine you two, when you both get going on that, it's going to be a journey, because it opens your eyes to how creative you can actually be. And someone like yourself, Muse, that is a very creative person, I can honestly say it's going to be right up your street. Steve saying it's been peeing it down all day.
The weather's living up to its normal standard for a bank holiday weekend.
Yeah, Muse is going, yeah, she got him a wee printer. Yeah, it's one of those. Once you start it, it's like when you pulled the pin, wasn't it, and got yours. It just opened up a new world, didn't it?
Yeah. It just enables you to do stuff that you never thought of before.
Yeah.
And I must admit, I still go looking for something online that I need to use for something.
Yeah.
I start talking to you and you go, well, hang on a minute, mate. Don't forget, what? You've got a 3D printer. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I need to buy out and buy this. It's like, why are you going out and buying that, Dave? You've got a printer upstairs, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But we both do it. We both forget, don't we?
But it's so easy to do. You just, right, that's it. I need whatever it is. And then you suddenly stop and think, hold on a minute. I've got a 3D printer upstairs. I'll start a Tinkercad and I'll just design what I want, because then I'll have exactly what I want.
Exactly. You did it with that chopper, didn't you?
Yeah.
He was going to go out and buy one. It's like, oh, actually, might have to go out designing one and come out all right.
Well, I was going to go. I was quite happy to pull the pin on it until I saw that it was it? I think it was like 14 or 15 pounds shipping.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, I'm not paying that.
No.
And I think I've had more fun designing that one than I would have had otherwise.
Yeah.
It works just as well.
It does the job, mate. That's how I look at it. Does what it says.
On the tin.
Absolutely, you got it, mate. I'm just going to move Rog over there because I am doing Starship filth and I don't want Rog to get dirty.
Well, it's the same with those detail sander things that I did.
Yeah.
All right, they're not particularly very elegant, but hey, they do what they're supposed to do.
Function over form.
Exactly.
That's all I've always said, function over form. You know, look at the moto jig.
Oh, yeah. That caused a storm in the teacup as well, didn't it?
Oh, bloody hell, yeah, certainly did, mate. Yeah, I soon took that picture down. Yeah, it was one of them, wasn't it? You know, it's, everyone and their dog wanted one, and it's like, well, yeah, don't get me wrong, I don't mind, but yeah. And then when you politely say, well, you know, this is what they cost me to print, people were like, oh, I thought I'd get it for free. Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
And then got nasty when I said I couldn't do it. So, yeah, a few people disappointed me on that one. But we live and learn.
I thought it was a bit cheeky when that bloke turned around and said, well, can I have the STL file?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, a few people have done that. There's been more than one that have done that one. The guns fell off again. Really? Oh, well, it can stay like it. I'll super glue it on later.
Right.
I'm doing that rather riveting thing at the moment and just capturing and knocking the edges of all the rivets with a bit of filthykins.
Oh. What have I got on there?
And as per usual, I'm using Starship filth and I'm getting absolutely filthy.
You're getting more on you than you are.
What are you saying there? Can't decide which printer I want to buy. I'm happy to see plant-based resins. Yes. Well, I use an Elegoo Mars Pro at the moment, and I must admit I am absolutely over the moon with it. I've not had a single issue with it. It does exactly what it says on the tin, and yeah. Am I glad I got it? Absolutely. It was just what I needed to finish where I wanted, the direction I wanted to go in with 3D printing. So and it was one of those, if it hadn't have worked out, it wasn't like, you know, 400 or 500 quid to me. If it was a couple of £100, job done. I'm going to pre-warn you, Dave. Super glue's coming out.
Uh-oh. Stand by the edge.
There you go. That's the nozzle cleaned. If in doubt, get the drill out to clean your super glue nozzle.
Yeah, I can believe that at all.
I've had that many accidents with this bottle of super glue that the long pointed nozzle has now been reduced to a slight stump. Yeah. What possibly can go wrong with me and super glue, I wonder. Right, let's remember that I've got a blob of super glue there. Yeah. How long before I forget? Let's get the old spudgeroo out and put a bit on each of them because we keep knocking that gun off, don't we? And this goes back to when I first built it and dropped it that night. And it was like, yeah. I actually thought the Huey was going to divorce me.
What, you threw it on the floor?
Yeah, when I was doing my man cave move, I knocked it off the side. And yeah, she let me know how unpleased she was, put it that way.
Not bad.
Ah, it's the ski that keeps knocking it off. Now we know. So we got to leave you a strange angle then. Might have to bridge that repair, you know. Okay, let's cheat and put a lump in there then. Apologies for being off camera, folks. It's just I'm as blind as a bat, and I'm doing a bit of a gun repair at the moment. Normal service shan't resume shortly. Right, first things first. Super glue has been out and is now going away because, yeah, I can't be trusted with super glue, can I, Dave?
No, not at all.
So I think whilst that's going off, I'll hold it in my hand with an H. What's going on in the chat? Steve's going, this time last year it was cracking the flags. What was? Some people's children, yeah. Model making truckers back. Steve's asking Lewis, what's he bought? Yeah, he's. Have I got to start taking the blame already, Lewis? Or are you going to let me know graciously?
Well, he's not bought it already, have he?
I don't know. It's just he's been away unattended, hasn't he? So, yeah, you never know. Mind you, though, saying that, with the Lancasters and all of that lot you've been buying, mate, I think you might just need to have a bit of retail rest, mate.
Yeah.
You'll only regret it otherwise. Mind you, though, retail therapy always helps, doesn't it, Dave?
Oh, it does.
There you go. Subtle enough. Fester doing subtle, Dave. Who would have thought it, eh?
Where are you getting this subtle thing from?
I don't know, mate. I think I might be mellowing, Dave.
Is there something you found at the Lost and Found somewhere?
I don't know. Unless the missus has been playing with my medication again. Not that she would do such a thing, of course.
No, she spiked your tea, though.
I know she does. Terrible, isn't it? And I fall for it every bloody time. That's the killer. I made you a nice cup of tea. She goes, oh, you are a darling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Fester's now unconscious. It's like, yeah. She means well. Be intrigued to know how many people have gone out and got one of these Hueys, because I would recommend it to anyone.
Oh, yeah. They are not as bad as what people say.
Absolutely.
Not by a long chalk. Or a short chalk. Oh, excuse me.
Or her matron.
Yeah. A low grumbly one.
But we was looking at, I won't name the brand, but we was looking at another Huey, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we kind of were like, it doesn't beat the Revell one. And I know a lot of people like to hate on Revell for whatever reason. And yeah, they've made some dog kits, we know, but to be honest with you, with a bit of effort.
Yeah, that's the only trouble. Everybody's now used to shake and bake, isn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose you've got a point there, mate.
I'm not saying that I'm any better than anyone else, but
Yeah, it is one of them, innit? I suppose it's... Have we been spoilt? There's room for any type of kit, I think, but yeah. It's funny when I need to come back down to earth, I always dig out a Revell kit to build. You know, when you've had a build that's gone really well, and you sit there and you go, do you know something? That was the most easiest of easy builds that I've done.
Yeah.
That's when I go and get a Revell kit out, just to bring me down to earth.
I don't know why, but I do fancy having a crack at the Revell 132nd FW190. I don't know why. I just fancy having a go.
Well, I did say I'd do a 1/72nd scale, didn't I?
Yeah.
This is where we go. Is that another buddy build? Yeah. How many have we got now?
Well, what 72nd scale were you thinking of doing?
I don't know. Not done one, have I? That's what I was saying. It's like I haven't done one, so I need to do one.
It's going to end up as a buddy build, isn't it?
Probably. It is us two, after all.
Well, what do you expect?
I honestly don't know, mate. I don't know whether it's going to be a plane, a train, an automobile, or what, mate. I haven't decided. What do you fancy?
I'm not at the moment.
Well, I didn't want that mouse anyway, really. Yeah, I'm dropping stuff again. I don't know. It depends on what you fancy, mate. You know me, mate. I'm easygoing. Could be whatever you want it to be, mate. You choose.
I'll have a think about it. Nothing's popping in my head at the moment.
No. Have a think. I mean, there's no rush, is there? I mean, we've got how many?
No.
111 12 kits to do yet. So
We've got enough at the moment, haven't we?
Yeah.
We're not exactly short of a build or two.
There's no hurry yet, but I knocked you for 6 when I said I'd do a 70-second scale, because I know you like your 70-second scale.
I do. I don't know why.
And it's like, well, it is your thing, so I thought, fudge sticks and broom handles, I'll have a go at doing one. I think I was about 10 the last time I done.
Well, I'll tell you what, here's a thought for you.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say do a 70-second scale Lancaster.
Yeah.
But how about a 70-second scale Shackleton?
Oh, that's got a ring to it, because it is the forgotten one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the ugly duckling of them all, isn't it?
Well, it's a bit like the Spitfire and Hurricane syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
If that floats your boat.
Oh, yeah, you know me, mate. I'll take my hand to anything I can. That sounds wrong.
Sounded very wrong.
Yeah, a little 70-second scale Shackleton.
I think that would be a rather good build, actually. It's supposed to be a good kit as well.
Is it?
From what I've
So
seen.
then. Decided.
I could be wrong, but
Hey, the last good kit I said, mate, was Ed Force 1, and I think a few people wish I hadn't. Joseph Kelly says, doesn't need a 3D printer, but I'm seriously jonesing for a CNC laser cutter. Yeah, a few people have said that you can get like laser attachments for 3D printers and things of that ilk, and that appeals to me. I must admit, I find that quite a intriguing prospect, but again, I'm thinking, what would I actually use it for in me builds? So yeah, it's one of them. It's on the radar.
I don't want to frighten you, Colin, but I'm running out of parts to stick on my Huey.
I'm at that destroying my Huey stage with gunk and sitting there with that, you know, that fear you have
Yeah.
when you first do it. But I'm not leaving it on for too long. I'm just doing it as a
wipe on,
quick,
wipe off.
yeah, almost like you say, yeah, wipe on, wipe off, just to darken it. And I must admit, I am pleased that I've done it. I was skeptical at first, because I did like the lighter green, but it was a bit too light,
Ooh.
if that makes sense. So
No, where'd that go?
don't know, mate.
Uh-oh.
But it does seem to have given the paint a little bit more depth, if I'm honest. So, and it is done obviously the panel lines, which is what I wanted, and the rivets. So I can count them now. See, thought I'd get that one in.
Found it.
Have you found it, Dave?
Yeah, I dropped an handle.
No.
Yeah, an handle. Not a fork handle, an handle.
Handle. With an H.
Handle. An handle for a door. Let's have another go. See if we can.
Thing is, though, I still think I've got more Starship filth on me than I have the helicopter.
It's always the way, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I'm that person who, when I was taught art at school, I'd be that pupil at the back of the class that had paint dots all over him, everywhere, all over his desk, you name it. Yeah. Very little on the actual piece of art. This is why I'm so worried about the diamond art, because my memories went immediately back to that art classroom and the teacher looking at me going, how the hell have you ended up getting so much stuff on you? Don't know. It just happens. Just a fascinator.
Never enjoyed art at school.
I loved it, mate. It's the only lessons at school I enjoyed, because you got, I think my muse might be able to relate to this. It was the only free way I felt I was able to express myself was with art. It's one of them, I don't know, I just found that I was happier putting my thoughts on paper and doing that sort of thing, and just doing something arty. Yeah. Because it was just you and that blank piece of canvas, wasn't it? And yeah.
I used to like the old woodwork.
Yeah, I used to do a bit of the old technical drawing as well. Just to enjoy that.
A bit of woodwork, a bit of TD.
Yeah. Metalwork I was intrigued by, because I always wanted to be creating things with metal as well, which is ironic because I went into the trike scene, didn't I? The bike scene, and did that for a number of years.
I enjoyed metalwork, but I wasn't over keen on it.
Yeah. Did me welding stuff at college, and yeah, went for it. But
it wasn't until I saw someone literally make a chassis for his own radio-controlled car.
Yeah.
Out of some box tubing and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I thought, have I missed a trick here?
Yeah, it's one of those. I work a lot happier or easier with metal than I would wood. Whereas I've got a friend of mine who's the complete opposite. Can't do anything with sheet metal. And yet carpentry, oh mate, he's a god.
Well, I always wanted to be a cabinet maker.
Oh, right. All the old proper dovetail stuff and all of that going.
Dovetails and hidden joints and split joints. And
I used to watch New Yankee Workshop. Do you remember him, Norm Abram? I used to love watching that guy. Mate, I'd love his workshop.
Oh, yeah. That was a workshop and a half. Yeah. We're just going to take this chunk of timber and we're going to do this, 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 and this. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, bloke was bloody genius, wasn't he? I take it he's still alive.
I think so. I don't understand why his shows are not on air.
I don't know. Was there a licensing issue? Oh, really? Was there a licensing issue with it? I don't know.
Absolutely no idea.
Because he used to do This Old House, didn't he, with Bob Villa?
Yes.
Who wasn't annoying at all.
No. About as annoying as a rattlesnake down your trousers.
Yeah, he'd ask Norm something. Here, Norm, what you doing? And he'd start to tell him and he'd walk off and leave him. It's like, dude, you just asked the bloke a question and you, yeah. Poor old Norm. But yeah, the New Yankee Workshop, mate. If any of you out there have never watched the New Yankee Workshop, where have you been?
If you get the chance, give it a view because he is an absolute
genius.
Yeah. And before he started anything, you always had the workshop safety talk.
Yeah. But he just had all these tools. It was a bit like Adam Savage, wasn't it? Out of Mythbusters. With these one-day builds, you know, I'm just going to take this over to my custom lathe, and there is the most beautiful, exotic old piece of machinery that's been salvaged from a reclaimer's yard, and you're like, holy moly, you know.
It's a bit like, have you seen the Repair Shop on the BBC?
No, I haven't. I've heard about it, but I've not.
Oh, mate, you need to watch it because there's a guy on there. He does all the clockwork stuff.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's got tools that he's picked up from other people that have sadly gone to various workshops in
town. Yeah.
And you know, you look at some of them, and some of them have as my father would say, had the red protective coating on them.
Yeah.
And he says he collects tools from wherever he can get them, and some of them are, you just look at them and think, well, you'd never buy one of those again.
Oh, yeah, I remember, what's his name? Jack Hargreaves, wasn't it, out of town?
Oh, God, yeah.
You know, and it's like, yeah, he had a workshop you could kill for.
Yeah, and he'd always, he'd go on about Altwood, because I think at the time, I think the fishing rods were just going from fiberglass to carbon fiber.
Yeah.
And he'd be going on about the fiberglass and the carbon fiber, and he'd get this lovely old split cane rod out.
Yeah.
And he'd go, this is a proper rod. And then he'd sit there and he'd get one of the eyes and he'd start whipping the eye on.
Yeah.
And you just think, okay, he was a legend.
Yeah, proper old school stuff. You don't see stuff like that now, do you? You know, it just doesn't seem. Is it totally non-existent, or is it because people just replace stuff now?
I think it's now a society of bin it, replace it, and move on.
Throwaway society, innit? Yeah, sling it in the landfill. Whereas I like to come across something that's knackered, and I'll sit and try and fix it, because it's like another man's junk is another man's gold mine type mentality that I was brought up with. You know?
Because I can remember watching Jack Hargreaves re-eye a rod from butt to tip.
Oh yeah,
and he did all of the eye whipping and all of that, and I thought, oh, he made that look so easy. And I had an old 6.5 foot spinning rod that, to be fair, was the first rod I had when I started fishing.
Yeah,
and it needed a new set of eyes put on it, and I thought,
Yeah.
I went out and bought a new set of eyes, and then learned the hard way that what he was doing on the telly was not necessarily as easy as it looked.
Yeah.
Because it was like, how do I hold this in place while I try and get the cotton to go round? Yeah. Swearfest.
Absolutely.
I did it in the end.
Music's saying I use my Dremel for opening glue more than anything. Good shout.
Nothing wrong in that.
He's saying he needs to go to bed because he's up at 11 p.m. to start work at midnight. Oh, you know, sleep well, mate. Catch up with you soon, Lewis. Adam's in, raging modeler. Afternoon, dudes. I've discovered it's completely possible to listen to Rust in peace all day and not get bored of it. Absolutely, mate. Model making truckers going, I want one.
Oh, Wibble.
Yeah. Music's telling him to go and get some rest. Nat saying that she's going to be back shortly. She's about to have her tea, chips, sausage, and fried egg.
It was
Good
all
girl.
right until she said the fried egg. I'd have the chips and the sausage and baked beans.
Yeah, model making truckers going do a 1/72 scale Lancaster.
Yep.
Music's going, yeah, that come out dirty. Lewis is saying he's got to go because he's got to go to work. Yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah, catch up with you during the week, Lewis. Take care, mate. There you go.
Yeah.
Music's going, yeah, art and music. Absolutely. I used to do caricatures whilst listening to Metallica and AC/DC. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, music was not my favourite subject.
Yeah, she loved all the classes, metal, woodshop, anything artsy, even auto shop. Absolutely. When I had my workshop for trikes, I used to, if I had a donor vehicle that I was using for the rear axles and things like that, I would use the engines or interiors, and I'd make like blokey furniture for bachelor pads with tubing and the front seats and rear seats from a BMW or something, all in leather with all the switches and that, and get them working. The engine blocks used to make coffee tables. I'd strip engines down and make sculptures out of crankshafts, pistons, and all kinds of things. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, and that's what got my youngest lad into welding, because he's very much like Muse. He's a very artsy, creative guy, you know what I mean? And it gave him an opportunity to do that, and he's gone on and done it quite happily. He does some wonderful stuff, and it's like good for him.
Right, good for him.
And he did like welding as well. He thoroughly took to that.
Never tried it.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's something that I'd like to try.
Yeah, it depends on what you want to do. It came in handy for me as well, being a car owner and that, it saved a small fortune at the repair shop, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Because, all my cars and family's cars used to come straight into the workshop on the 4-post lift. Yeah, needs welding, needs this, needs that. Yeah, I bust out one of the welders. Done. Never had to worry about that. Still got them. Still got me welders. It's the one thing I wouldn't part with. I think I've still got my plasma cutter as well.
Was that the one that you tried using when you was on the kitchen floor?
Yeah, it may have took the kitchen floor, but hey, at least I know it worked, Dave.
Well, you had to give it a test run.
Yeah, it was the fact that my answer to burning a large chunk of the wooden floor was the age-old bloke solution of I just put a mat over it because she'll never know. and she comes in and there's a mat that suddenly appeared in the kitchen that's never been there before, she's going to go, "What you done?" "What, love?" "Why is that mat there?" And literally she walked over, lifted it up, and she went, "What you done on my floor?" Like, how did she know?
Witchcraft and tomfoolery.
Oh, it's proper speed dusting.
I'll bet.
Oh, mate, you could imagine me doing that, staring at my feet. "Oh, I thought it was a good idea at the time, and I'm not as intelligent as you, love, and I'm a bloke, and we do stupid things, and I beg your forgiveness." Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I wimped out totally. Almost as bad as the bath when I did that. That was, I still say that was my best one. Looking back at it, it's highly amusing, but at the time I was like, "Oh, for God's sake, what Burke." But yeah, I put a Mini Cooper gearbox in a bath full of paraffin, and it's a plastic bath, or it was a plastic bath.
Oops.
Yeah, it didn't go well, Dave.
No, I didn't think it would. Paraffin and plastic.
Yeah,
Not the best combination around.
no, it kind of, yeah, went wrong. Suffice to say, the bath was removed. But at least she got a shower out of it, so she was happy. Got a nice bathroom remodel, but oh dear, it was painful, Dave. It was a lot of, you know, that look they give you of despair and disdain. And it was weeks of that, just looking over me, shaking its head. And I'm like, "Yeah, I know I've done wrong, love. I know I've done wrong." I get reminded of it annually. I think she still puts a card out as well in memory of the bath. But yeah. But again, I thought, that'd be all right. Seems like the thing to do. What possibly could go wrong?
I used to keep reminding my father of the 4 Cortina Mark III boot lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine he loved you for that.
Oh, did he?
Oh, there's a microphone there, Cole. Try not to bang your head on it, mate.
Oh, yeah. Always went down well, especially when there was other members of the extended family there
Oh, yeah.
that didn't know of this and would look at me and say, "Well, would you like to explain yourself, David?" "Well, sure, I will."
Oh, yeah.
And I would take great delight in retelling the story.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's great, isn't it, when you've got, dare I say it, ammo.
Yeah.
Ammo on a parent is great fun until they grow wary of your ammo. Yeah. Yeah, I used to love winding my old man up.
Well, it just made me smile because
He could sulk for his country.
you got to assemble it in one piece and then put it back in. Don't be so bloody ridiculous.
Yeah.
It came out bit by bit. It will go back in bit by bit. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the Haynes manual says the Haynes manual is therefore wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you went and done that sensible thing, but Dad, they're trained mechanics.
Yeah.
Don't say you didn't.
I went there. They've done strict down on this car and other cars. They know what they're wrong. All right, if you say so.
Oh yeah, my old man, mate, he could have epic month-long sulks, mate. You know what I mean? It's like, really?
Well, and it was at that point that my mum came out and she said, I've made a cup of tea and I've baked fresh cake. And it's like, I was
Gone.
yeah. Well, cup of tea, fresh cakes. Fresh, home-cooked, mum-style cakes.
Yeah, what you going to do, mate?
Yeah, and it's like, I'll see you later, Dad. I'm off. Came in and then he admitted that he had to reread the manual and then discovered that the Haynes manual was correct. Didn't speak to me for 3 months.
Yeah, sounds like mine.
Get on with it.
Yeah. Yeah, strange creatures. I think it was a generational thing, it have to be. I mean, died when I was, 17, 18, so never really got to know him, to be honest. Glad I didn't.
Mine was, I'm right and everybody else is wrong.
Yeah.
Whatever. And when you did prove him wrong,
Yeah.
he didn't speak to you. Okay then, Dad. Yeah, you crack on, mate.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I say, it must be a generational thing, mate.
Yeah, it's got to be. I've got a problem.
Oh, you got a mug emergency.
No, I'm all right for tea at the moment, but I've got a Huey problem.
You've got nothing you can do now.
I've stuck everything on now.
Oh, there you go.
I can't put the doors on because they got to go on last.
Can I do the immortal? You're only supposed to put the bloody doors on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only other thing I'll do is do the hinges for the engine hatch.
Yeah. Yeah, but at least you're putting stuff on now, Dave.
I've put lots of stuff on.
Yeah.
My Huey is almost, construction-wise, it's almost finished.
I'm at that loads and loads and loads of Starship filth and then just rubbing it off. That sounded wrong. Removing said Starship filth.
Erasing.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the operative word.
Does that work better for you?
Yeah, it does, mate. You know me, mate. It sounds
Oh, no, yeah.
I can make the most innocent of statements sound some kind of sordid.
Oh, no, don't knock that over again. That's what I want.
Do, 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 do. I think we could have a bit of tweezerage with that. There you go. And I think we've got one more door to do then, which is that one. That's it. I think that's subtle. Well, I say subtle, but Yeah.
It's as subtle as it's going to be.
Yeah, that's good enough. It's darkened it down just enough to be honest with you. It's one of those, it's got to dry obviously because it's oil. But dare I say it, once that's dried and then I go over with a little filter, I think she looks, I'm happy with her.
Well, that's the main thing, as long as you're happy.
You know, there might be people going, oh my God, he's wrecked his Huey. No, I don't think I have.
I think we did that when we took the sauce to him.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've got to do some now on ski. Knocking that bloody bit off the gun, didn't I? Carpet Mumper's got it. Oh, damn it. That might take me a while to recover that then. That'll go well. I might be lucky. Keyboard. Okay, let's get me a light on that. I'm a man of a certain age. There it is. Festa 1, Carpet Monster, nil.
Good man.
It's going to come back and alter now that statement, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. I think we'll be all right.
Let's put my cotton bud holder back. Bit of spider pig for you there, folks.
Ooh, double spider pig.
Double spider pig, mate. Spider pig with a twist. I'm quickly going to get rid of the Starship filth off my hands and then I'll do a bit on the chat.
Oh. Ooh, I don't know where that went.
What's that, mate?
I'm making hinges.
All that Jacqueline's posts just got me thinking. We haven't asked our age-old question, Dave.
Oh, is that belly and bench?
Belly and bench, mate. Jacqueline's cooking dinner at the moment whilst listening to us too. She's having barbecue sausage skewers with cheesy chips and rocket salad.
Oh, cheesy chips.
Road trip.
That could be a road trip to the chip shop when we finish doing this.
Yeah, because it's Friday chip shop time, isn't it?
Yeah. That's an idea.
Put Roger there for a minute.
I was going to do beans on toast, but a portion of chips with grated cheese over the top. Ooh.
I have absolutely no idea what my culinary delight will be this evening. I await with bated breath.
Ooh, I'm sure you will enjoy.
Oh, absolutely. She looks after me, doesn't she? You know.
the hand that feeds when the food comes through the door.
Yeah. The only stipulation is I do not loiter or linger in the kitchen. Doesn't mind me being there as long as I'm walking through and exiting the other side. She's happy. But if I loiter,
If you stop and loiter, then dear,
oh mate, especially if it's near a white appliance, that's when she goes, "Get out of my effing kitchen! You are not touching any of my machinery."
Yeah, and you go in here, hold her. She's standing behind the door.
Yeah. Oh mate, honestly, she's out at the moment, mate. She's at Silverstone tomorrow, isn't she? Driving a Ferrari and a single seat around the racetrack. Oh my God! I wonder whether Ferrari and Silverstone will be able to cope with my 5'0" Scottish lady going around the circuit full chat. Oh my God! How much is a gearbox for a Ferrari?
How much is a gearbox in a clutch?
Oh yeah. It's a nice day out for her. She works hard all year, mate, and something like that right up her street, and it's the least you can do, isn't it?
I did something similar to that, but rally style.
Yeah, I used to do especially when I had the sports bike, the racing one. We used to do the track days down at Thruxton. So, I had my track days on the bike, and like I say, H used to do the stage rallying weekends at Goodwood and all that sort of thing, Oh, mate, she was a dab hand in an RS Cosworth Escort, mate, on gravel. Bloody lethal, used to frighten me. I'm like, good girl. And then she thought she could do that on the drive home. It's like, yeah. Doesn't work like that, dear. We're on the roads now. Yeah, but. Yeah. There you go. Right, let's have a quick look at the chat whilst my Huey's doing its thing there, because it's at that very dirty, grubby state. I'm just going to put Roger away safe as well, because I don't want you getting any Starship filth on you. Because Mum will never forgive me if I get you dirty, will she? She'll tell me off, Roger. We can't have that. Can't have Jacqueline telling me off for getting you dirty. Right, let's have a looky-loo at chat. I'll flip me lenses down so that I can read it. Dave, I'll tell you something, mate. These lenses come in really handy when you want to read the chat on your monitor, mate.
Oh, I flip mine up.
Oh, mate, oh, no, I've got big eyes at the moment, mate. I've got them going 10 to the dozen, mate. Let's put Minicam on. See, I've got my big flip-ups whilst I'm reading, because I'm blind. Muse is saying, I was the only girl in the shop most of the year, 8 to 12. Really? It's a shame, isn't it, Muse? Because, women, I always, and I've said this to you many times, Dave, haven't I, about modelling and things like that, model making. Yeah. I still think women are up, probably ahead of us with the scale modelling, because they have that acute eye for detail, don't they? And, I've seen some... I nearly swore then. I do apologise. I've seen some fantastic paint jobs and that done by female model makers, and good for you. Muse is saying, I missed welding because we had to have other classes. Yeah, I did a 2-year welding course. I don't know what you'd call it, college over here, and got me City and Guilds and all of that lot in it, because welding and sheet metal fabrication, I knew that I wanted to build myself a custom trike, and probably would then do some for my mates, and a few of my mates had bikes and, you know, wanted custom tanks made. And so I just got into it. She's also saying this old house was one of my faves, yeah, with Bob Villa and Norm Abram, and then it was Steve and Norm, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember the other one with Dean Johnson and Robin, whatever her name was, Home
Yeah,
Time?
I can't remember. I remember the program that you're on. I can't think what it was called.
Home Time,
Yes.
wasn't it, with Dean and Robin? I can't think of her surname now, but yeah, and they used to do some wonderful jobs. I used to love all of that. Whatever happened to shows like that? Music's going, yeah, Adam Savage. Yeah, I was watching his custom apron build on his one-day builds last night, and it's like, I kind of want me to go have a leather apron now. That sounds a bit wrong, Dave, doesn't it?
It sounds very wrong.
But yeah, he's kind of rekindled the workshop apron, you know, and I used to love all of that when I was doing the welding, because you'd have all your scribes and everything all on you know, when you were
talking of aprons, didn't Yam used to wear an apron when he was doing his model making?
Yes, he did, mate. Yeah, and I think Ted does as well. When he's not filming, I think Ted wears an apron as well. It's one of those. I mean, I'm forever getting good clothing wrecked because we're blokes, aren't we? We'll sit here in a three-piece suit and go, I'll just glue that on because I won't spill any. And it's like,
yeah, it's just those immortal words. I will not spill anything on my trousers.
Yeah, I may have pulled the pin, mate, and ordered one, Dave, because I'm like, you know something? It makes perfect sense. Absolutely perfect sense. And I'm like, you know something? Yeah. So,
Well,
yeah.
I'll probably have to get one because the trousers I'm wearing, if they get any more holes in, they're going to fall apart.
Yeah, I'm so glad your camera was up about 2 inches the other week, because I would have got to know you in an intimate way that I haven't.
No.
Especially when you leant back in that chair and put your feet up, I'm like, oh no, look away. Nat is back. Yummy tea, although Lewis has corrupted Connor as he wanted brown sauce. No, that's not corrupting. That's the correct way to educate.
That is full. That is proper parental education.
Absolutely, and Connor can then graduate into Daddy's brown sauce.
Yes.
Staple diet of a growing young man, brown sauce. Muse is going, can't say my dad ever read the directions for anything and still doesn't. No, my old man, when he was alive, he was one of them people you just left him to do it his way, even though you knew it was blatantly wrong, because if he did say anything, you got a right hook. And you didn't want one of them because they used to hurt a bit. Muse is going, removing, yeah. Osric's going, bring on the weekend.
Definitely.
Jacqueline was on about her tea there, barbecue sausage skewers with cheesy chips and rocket salad. Archie's in. Hello, mate. How you doing, Archie?
Hello, Archie.
Graham's saying, right, I'm off. See you on Sunday. Yeah, see you later, Graham. Take care, mate. Thanks for keeping us both company, buddy. And PM me if you need anything, mate. Jacqueline's going, you need some sweet chili sauce on top of cheesy chips, Dave. See, I could go for the chili sauce, but I couldn't have the cheese.
No, it'd have to be brown sauce.
Yeah, Muse is saying her driving might scare you. Hey, Muse, yeah, but you do play quality music on your travels. I've seen your screenshots of your car stereo, what you're playing, and yeah, you've got a brilliant taste in music. I'll give you that. She's saying for her the freeway is the indie. Yeah, do you? I mean, I've still got an habit of doing it. I don't know whether Dave has ever ridden bikes, but when I used to corner in my car, I used to lean over and get my knee and elbow down as if I was riding a motorbike.
No, I did try to ride a motorbike once.
Yes.
and noticed the wording once.
Now I miss it, but when my spine issues got to that point where I couldn't feel the centre of gravity of the motorbike or whether the back was going to step out underneath my tailbone, it was the time to stop riding because it just wasn't safe. And I haven't driven a car for 6-7 years now, and I had that converted to hand controls, but I don't know. Part of me doesn't know whether my reaction time would be safe to drive. I don't know, and I would rather not drive and be on the safe side than take the risk. But I miss driving my Monza terribly.
Oh, I bet.
Muse was saying there was still so much gender bias then. Really? See, I don't get the whole gender bias thing. I really don't. You know, men and women are equal. Crying out loud, it's 2020, isn't it? You know, all of this blokes are paid more than women, and it's like, no, hold up a minute. But I had a woman have a go at me once, and I'll never forget it. You're probably the same as me. I was brought up, if you're going through a door and a lady's coming, you hold the door open and you let the lady go through first. Don't you?
Yeah.
That's how we was brought up. And this woman had a go at me. She said, I don't need a man to open the door. And I said, oh, I've brought up to always open the door for a woman, love. I said, and I'm not going to change just because you've got the ump with it, you know. But I don't. Part of me just doesn't understand why that was found offensive, because I've just been a gent. But is that an insult for the modern woman? I don't know.
I held the door open for a woman at work, and she walked through and she didn't say thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I
sarcastically said, "Oh, thank you. That's all right, David. That's really nice of you to hold the door open." And she gave me a cut-in look, and I thought, oh, your car's marked, sweetheart.
I still, you know, I mean, you know, an East End boy from the London and all of that lot, you know, and you're chatting, you know, and you see a lady, hello, darling, how you doing? You don't mean anything sexist by it. You just refer, hello, darling, hello, sweetheart. But some women find that really offensive, and that's the last thing I'd want to do. But I'm 53, and I just find it hard to break that habit, you know. And it's not that you're trying to be cheesy and chat them up, because, you know, I'm an happily married man, for crying out loud, you know what I mean? But that's just my way of a term of respect or endearment. But some people find it offensive, and you have to be so guarded now, don't you? But yeah, it's, gender bias I find quite sad, really. My missus, I had a guy turn up to do the chimney on my roof. The lead flashing went and the soakers went, and water was pouring in through the roof. So anyway, cut a long story short, he come round and, you know, hello, geez, how you doing, all of that, you know, and he's chatting to me, and it's going to cost this, it's going to cost that. And I went, dude, I said, my missus is stood there. I said, she's the one that's paying it. She's the one who's in charge of the finances, and dare I say it, acknowledge her presence, mate, because it's her you should be talking to. I said, because I ain't going to remember this conversation in an hour. I'm going to be asking her who that bloke was that knocked on the door. I said, talk to her, mate. It's funny, I sent her in when I used to drive to get a quote on a car repair for her car. So just pop in, go in on your own, I said, and see how you get on, and then we'll see what happens. And they basically tried the usual woman doesn't know what she's doing and all of that gubbins.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go in together, and the bloke's, oh yeah, blah blah blah. And I said, so you're doing that for me and talking to me in a non-con artist way. So why didn't you do that when my missus come in 10-15 minutes ago? What gave you the right to do that? You know, it really winds me up. It's disrespectful to her at the end of the day. Hate it when people talk to me when the missus is stood next to me and they're like, especially if it's, oh yeah, you know, this decorating or that wallpaper or this gadget or this or that, I'm thinking that she won't understand what they're on about. And it's like, right. Rant over. Osric's going, right, just knocked over a pot of paint all over the bench now. Oh no, what paint was it, mate? Could that be a paint holder required, mate, you know, because, yeah, you know, yeah. Some music's going, oh my God, a girl in a workshop, that was the 80s. Yeah, but you've got as much right to be in a workshop as a bloke has. There's some brilliant women welders. A lot of the oil companies and that and shipyards, you know, these women are fantastic welders, Dave, because again, they want it to look nice, don't they? They want it to look right. And whereas a bloke will go, that'll do. It's holding it together. It may not look pretty, but it's functional. Whereas a woman will go, I could have done that better. It don't look right. I'm going to take my time. Adam's going, right, at Fester's workshop, I did the same, Colin. She was proper nasty about it, so I never held the door open again for her. Not even when she asked. Yeah, I could never walk through a door and not leave it open for a woman. It's like if I see a woman with heavy bags, I go, you all right, love, do you need a hand? It's not that I'm being sexist and trying to say I don't think you're capable of carrying it, but I would feel ungentlemanly if I didn't offer.
You're offering a kind act of help.
Yeah, I would feel disrespectful to her if I didn't say, are you all right there? Do you need a hand? It's like helping a lady across the road, an old lady, you know. You go, right there, love, come on. It's busy, this road. I'll give you a hand. Come on, let's get you across safe. And you walk along, you're chatting to them. You all right with your shopping there? Do you need a hand? Where are you going? And you offer, don't you? But some people find that really offensive, and that's the last thing I'd want to do. Music saying, yeah, she's had guys try to pull that and they get told off on the spot. Yeah, it's so frustrating. And she's got a good phrase there. They just try to mansplain something I know to me, and I'll skin you with words. Good girl. Osric's going, yeah, it was a Tamiya pot. At least I wasn't the glue holder. But hey, I'll do a glue holder for you if you want. I've got paint ones that I've got for me alkalads, things like that. So I always try and size one for Tamiya. It's one of those I tend to airbrush all me Tamiya paint. So. Yeah, the world's a strange place, mate, isn't it, Dave?
Oh, it is, but there's been many a time I've been walking along, I've got my arms full of PCs and stuff like that, and I come up to a door.
Yeah.
Or I'll be following someone, and they don't look round, and then they do look round because they hear the door smack against me as I've tried to get to the door before it's closed so I can get halfway.
Oh, yeah.
And then they look at you, and instead of turning around and saying, hang on, Dave, I'll hold the door open for you, mate, because you got your hands full, they just walk off, and you think, okay.
I had a bizarre one when we was last in London, because we tend to go on the train and then use the tube and all of that lot when we go back up to the smoke. And it was the first time it's happened to me, and I at first didn't quite know how to take it. And because as you know, I use walking sticks when I'm out and about, or crutches to get about, because I steadfastly refuse to sit in my wheelchair and my pram. So I got on the train, and it was pretty full, and all of that lot. So I'm stood up against the side, just leant against the side, and this woman says, "Would you like my seat?" And I'm like, "Good God, I couldn't possibly do that. You're a lady, you know what I mean?" But she saw the sticks, and it seemed strange being on the receiving end of that, and I was quite lost for words. Suffice to say, I politely declined because I just didn't think it was the right thing to do. And I'm like, I'm able to stand for that short time. It's not a problem, but it is difficult getting about on the tube in a wheelchair because, a lot of the stations have got the stairs, the escalators, and it's difficult. It's not an easy thing to try and navigate. So I tend to use the sticks when we go to London. And then you always get that one person behind you that you can hear going, get a move on. It's like, dude, really? You want to go there? I may not be able to use these sticks to walk fast, but I can use them to batter the blood out of your canister if you don't take an F off pill. And then Helen looks at me and goes, will you behave?
Yeah, like as you're going to behave.
And I do. I sit there and go, but he started it. I do not care. I am ending it. Oh. Okay, love, I'll be good. Some weird people about. Yeah, Nat saying, me personally, I think that gentleman manners are disappearing and there is nothing wrong with holding the door. Yeah, it's just how he was brought up, Nat.
I'll do it all the time.
You know, it's funny, you know. One of my mates, he's, you know, hello, this is me. So, hello, sweetheart, pleased to meet you. I'm not a sweetheart person. That's all right, love. I mean, no offence, you know, but I was like, you know what I mean? It's like, I was only being polite. But, you know, she made her point. It's like, happy days then. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I suppose if people have been, you know, because we all know about office leches, don't we, and all of that sort of thing, you know what I mean? And you just sit there and think, oh, there, that must be really annoying to have to go through all of that. And any woman that goes through that thoroughly needs to smack the bloke in the mouth that's doing it, you know, but people like us that genuinely are trying to be polite are the ones normally that suffer, aren't we?
Well, I tried to be.
Paul's in, Paul D. Tomaso saying, hello, people. Fox has just finished his Fallout Friday stream. Yeah, I know. I clashed with the Foxy Pops. I'll have to send him big man hugs. Osric's going, nothing wrong with holding the door open. Man or woman, it's just good manners. Absolutely agree, mate. Absolutely agree. It's like if I see someone in a wheelchair trying to go across the road, I'll walk alongside them. You know, it's just like, no, I'll walk with you, mate. Come on. Let's get you across safe. Get you up the curb. If you need a hand to get up the curb, I'll help. But I'll understand if you want to do it on your own. It's not a problem. Lee Eagles is saying hello to Nat. And he's watching on a 4K TV. It looks good. Yeah, we got the ladies out today. We got the beautiful Hueys out, and Hueys. What more can you say?
Yeah, but us too on a 4K TV. Oh dear.
Yeah, it's quite a scary thought, isn't it? Jacqueline's going, I agree with Osric. Absolutely. Nat's going, my biggest fuming was when I was pregnant with Paige, clearly showing, and no one would offer their seat except for an elderly gentleman. I thanked him, but couldn't see an elderly gentleman stand. Yeah, I mean, what happened to giving your seat to a pregnant lady? Hey, come on, guys. Really? We noticed that there was a couple of youngsters, around about student age. And not every youngster's the same. I appreciate that. My lads would give up their seat without shadow of a doubt. But yeah, a similar situation to that. You know, there was a pregnant woman and a woman well into her 80s. And these two lads were just sat there with their iPods on in the seats. And I'm like, how could you not look up and see them stood there? You know, and I was gobsmacked at that, you know, and it's like, when did that change? Muser's going exactly, Osric. Lee's going, Fester, did you get my message about making car parts from resin or 3D print? Yeah, I've replied to it, Lee. Check your replies, mate. I did respond to you, mate, literally about a minute before we came on here, mate. Jacqueline's going, I could do with you at work with me. Sometimes, Colin, with some of the youngsters we get in the store, really. I used to work for an outdoor retailer, and I was predominantly in the warehouse in the background because they didn't like me going on the shop floor when customers were about, because if anyone messed about, I'd be quite blunt with them. And this one particular guy was having a go at one of the till girls one day and was leant over the till Dave at this then sort of 18-year-old girl who was, about the size of a bloke's finger,
Yeah.
And he was having a right old go. So I went over and got in his face and went, I don't speak to my daughter like that, mate. What bloody right have you got? And she looked at me and looked at him. And he went, well, I said, let's go outside and chat about it. I'll slap the taste out your mouth, mate. And of course, my store manager stood there with his head in his hands going, oh, no, not again. But he apologised to her. She weren't my daughter. But I just thought, no, that's wrong. How could I have walked past and allowed that to continue? I just couldn't.
I think the one thing that winds me up really, really quickly is the ignorant people that are at the checkout in the supermarket, and then someone calls them on their mobile and the world has to stop so that they can take their phone call.
Oh, I've got a better one than that. You know, when you're at the supermarket and you get the Berlin Wall of pushchairs where the mums are having a chat right the way across the aisle.
Oh,
That's the one that does me in, mate. And for some reason, people think it's great to push the wheels of a pushchair in the backs of my ankles when I'm walking along on sticks because they want to get past me in the aisle in the shop. And it's like, really? Yeah. And it is frustrating because the gentleman in you doesn't want to turn around and go, oi, because it's not right, is it? You're not going to have a go at a woman like that, but it just angers me that people think that that's a thing they can do. Adam's off, saying I'm off, dudes. I'm going to try and find something to eat. I'm not hungry, but I haven't eaten today, and I'm told eating's a good thing. Neither have I, mate. I'm terrible for eating at the moment. Paul saying, see you later. Raging, as is Nat. Kevin's going, the main problem is these youngsters do not have any respect. I'm afraid it's just the young generation. Yeah, I mean, my boys are 26 and 24. I was, quite, I would say strict when I brought them up, but I brought them up with love, loyalty and respect. You respect your elders, you love your mother, you show loyalty to your friends, and all of that. And if they was on a train and there was a pregnant woman, they wouldn't even need prompting. They would just go, here, love, you have my seat. You know what I mean? It's just how they are. A pensioner across the street here. We got an old people's residence across the way there where they all walled and patrolled, if that's what it's called nowadays. And one of them dropped his wallet, and my lad, he was only about 12 at the time, legged it over to pick it up and tapped the bloke on his shoulder. And he spun round with his walking stick and nearly took his head off because he thought he was trying to have a go at him. See? My boy's like, nah, Pops, you dropped your wallet, mate. And gave him his wallet back. He said, you dropped it up there. And he went to give him a couple of quid out of his wallet. And I was sat on the doorstep having a fag at the time. And I went, it's all right, Pops, don't worry about that. I'll give him a reward for being polite. I said, if ever you need anything, I said, now you can ask him. I said, and he'll help you. And I was dead proud of him when he did that because that's what it's about, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Muse is going, too few people raise their kids anymore. It's a good question. I mean, I didn't do the whole babysitters looking after me kids every day so that I could go out on the tiles, we had this mentality. We chose to bring children into this world. We're going to raise them until such point they're self-sufficient where they can fend for themselves. We did the going out for meals later on when they could join us at the table when they was older. So not a problem. I wish at their age I was as well grounded as my two sons are because, I'd love to have had their mindset when I was a younger man. I don't think I would have lost my way like I did. So Kevin's going, very true news. Mark's going, too many young'uns these days think that the world owes them something and manners aren't in the plan. Yeah, when did it become... I don't know. I find it odd. When did it become a thing just to be deliberately obnoxious? Is that a badge of honour now? I don't know.
Well, they seem to want respect straight away from the get-go. I was always told respect was something that was given when it had been earned.
Yeah, loyalty and respect work both ways. They're earned. Paul Di Tomaso's got a great one there. He says, nowadays people get butthurt over every little thing. Absolutely. We are a country of snowflakes, or a planet of snowflakes now. Don't get me wrong, you know, political correctness or whatever it's called across the world. You know, there's no room for racism, sexism and all of that. We know that, you know, and there's no place for that in the modern world. But sometimes people's grammatical or regional dialects can get lost in translation. I've been a victim of it. You know, what's a throwaway comment to me could be highly offensive to someone, and you don't set out to deliberately do it. You just, you know, and if they say, oh, mate, you do realise where I'm from, that means this. Oh, does it? Oh, sorry, mate, didn't realise, apologies. You take it on the chin, don't you? Whereas other people, they just jump up and down and throw their teddies out, their rattles and everything. Kevin Stevens got one there, brilliant one. He said, then you also get some of the elderly in mobility buggies and they just run you down.
Oh,
yeah.
Taken out by one of them things.
Yeah, we've seen a few of them in the times. I was offered one of them at one point by Angel Mobility, who got me my wheelchair, and I was like, really? All the time I got air in my lungs and feeling in my feet, I'm going to try and walk, mate. Don't care how long it takes me.
I can imagine you on one of them with slick tyres and go faster stripes.
I'd have to put a V8 in it, mate. I'd have to do something, pimp it up.
Oh, dear.
And Kevin's going, yeah, you're correct, Dave. Respect works both and all ways. It does, you know. I mean, the younger generation, you know, they are facing challenges in life. You know, every generation has
faces
different challenges, you know. I mean, our parents and then their parents grew up with the war and rationing and all of that. And I grew up with the 3-day week, power cuts and bread and dripping day for tea because we couldn't get no food because the shops were shut. You know what I mean? It's...
Well, I can remember the petrol shortages. I can remember...
Yeah, the fire strikes, the rubbish strikes, all of that. The UK was brought to its knees, wasn't it? And, yeah...
I remember the power cuts because that was the early 70s, that wasn't it?
Yes. Nat saying, Connor and Paige have had their manners drilled into them. They get complimented and then they say... we'll say, I wish we saw more youngsters using manners. Like you say, what has the world come to? It's please and thank you costs nothing and goes a long way.
Yep.
I was always brought up with the, you know, if the adults are in the room talking at the big table, because, you know, the family I came from was traditional London scrapyard family, should we say. And how can I say? Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So yeah, you had to be seen and not heard. You know, and if you
only spoke when you were spoken to.
Yeah, if the grown-ups were talking, so I'm just trying to get the picture right on me, Cam. If the grown-ups were talking, you know, you left them to talk. You know, there was that room that they was all having their big chat round, and you would walk in and have a look and, you know, nod, but it was be seen and not heard. And, you know, if your mum was talking to her sister or whatever, you waited patiently for a time where the conversation stopped before you asked for their attention. And you don't see that now, do you? I mean, I see parents getting ruled in shops by 2-3-year-old children throwing a wobbler, and they concede defeat by giving them what they want. And I'm like, well, how's that teaching the child respect and appreciation of things, you know? They try to reward a child now just to shut them up, don't they? And it's, yeah. Muse is going, and Chrome Cole, laugh out loud, bless her. Yeah. Muse is going, my grandsons call out others who don't use manners. Yeah, I haven't got grandchildren. I'm not a granddad. My boys are like, can't be doing with none of that. Two independent fellas that want to do things, and one's got his own apartment, one's going off to America, and they're like,
Yeah. Had plenty of time.
Absolutely. Muse is going, even the adults. Yeah, it is weird, Dave, isn't it? I mean, me and him are like Statler of Waldorf out the Muppets, isn't we? Alf Garnett and Victor Meldrew when we get going, because little things irritate you. I had it the other day, didn't I, or last week, with them two pillocks that knocked on me door about me broadband.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, the guy's like, you know, you got broadband? I went, yeah. He's like, oh, you thought of switching? I went, well, no, why do I want to? How much do you pay? I said, well, I'm not being funny. I'm not going to give you financial information. I said, I don't bloody know you. He said, it's not as if I'm going to pay your bills. I went, look, mate, don't start mugging me off on my own doorstep, because I'll put one on you. And my missus is like leaning over the banisters going, will you behave? I'm like, but love, it's been rude. Just shut the door, she said, and they'll go away.
The last time I had anyone knock on the door was a couple of double glaze, you know, the replacement windows people.
Yeah, actually, I'll leave them on. I can't see there. Yeah.
He said, how many windows you got? I said, I've got 4. He said, how many doors you got? I said, I've got 1. He said, how'd you get in the back garden? I said, you go out, this is a door that I'm standing at, and you go around to the side gate.
Mm.
He said, oh. Do you want them replaced? I said, yeah, you're going to do them free of charge?
Yeah.
He said, well, how'd you get free of charge? I said, well, you want to do them, so you do them free of charge.
Yeah.
You see,
yeah. It's when you get the double glazing, people knock on your door. Can we interest you in double glazing? See this glass panel that you knocked on, mate? Yeah. How many panes of glass can you see? 2. Does that mean it's double glazed? Well, yeah. So then why the bloody hell do I want to buy double glazing? Yeah. Yeah, we get a lot of the people switch power, switch this, switch that. You know, and I'm like, look, at the end of the day, we pay the gas to the gas, the electric to the electric, the water to the water. Simple, isn't it?
and then you get ripped off by the council. But then that's the story.
I don't know whether you have that in the States. That's an interesting one. We have a thing here called community charge or council tax, and we pay a gazillion quid a year for our local services to be provided, of which we never see any of them, do we?
Don't get me started.
When's the last time you saw someone cut the grass or come around and clean the drains or repair a pothole? I'm trying to get Dave to have an on-air wibble, and he knows it. Look at him. God, Dave. God, cancel tax, mate. You watch his face when I say this. I think cancel tax is a great idea, and we don't pay them enough. When we go off air, the names I am going to be called. Yeah, she's saying, yeah, some places have fees like that. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. So I think, Dave, what are we going to do now then? Should we just keep an eye on the chat and just chat with people and see what they want and what's on their bench and what they're up to? Or do we... are you getting hungry and do you want to go to your chippy to get your dinner?
I'm getting hungry.
Is that a cold? Can you wrap up then, is it?
Yeah, can we wrap up? Because my belly is starting to play musical tunes at the moment.
Oh, no. Music's saying they pay $12 for trash collection. That's the one thing that gets done. Yeah, ours is all on that community charge thing. But yeah. Music's saying she needs to get going. And, oh, that's good. Paul saying in Ontario, Canada, door-to-door sales have been made illegal. Yeah,
that should be done in this country.
Yeah, we seem to be getting a lot of aggressive selling going on, and they get right up in your face. And it's like, I may have MS and that, but I could still throw a good right hook. you know. And I find that I'm constantly having to threaten people, like, will you off out of it because I'm going to plant you? But they start arguing with you. Even the Jehovah's Witnesses do it now. I had one stick his foot in my door as I went to close it. I said, if I lay down on this floor, I will break your foot because I'll jam it in my door until I can close it. Well, I hadn't finished, he said. I said, well, I have. I said, don't get me wrong. If you're religious and you believe in God, then it's not up for question. There is one if it makes you happy. I personally don't. So can you respect my views and I'll respect yours? Simple. Jacqueline's going, we are watching you two on our big telly. Yeah. Rightio then. Dave's getting hungry. He's fidgeting. So we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for joining us for this Friday. It's been nice. Dave having a day off and all of that lot.
Yep.
Tune in Sunday for the Sunday brunch.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget Sunday.
And hopefully you've enjoyed what we've wrecked our Hueys with. And see you Sunday, folks.
Bye.
Bye for now.